Hi, today I'm going to show you a scale pattern which will be very similar to one you already know, but it's the best scale for playing more melodic blues. Okay, so let's take an example key of A. So a lot of things that you learn on guitar tend to be in A. Everyone's sort of comfortable in that key. So the A pentatonic minor scale, which you probably know, is here. So that was at 5th fret. Now that pentatonic minor scale is one that's used in blues all of the time, and you can add a note to it to make it what's called a blues scale, but we're not going to do that today. We're just going to look at the pentatonic minor for blues, but with one small change. So let me just play the scale again. Okay, now the small change that I'm going to make to it is I'm going to replace the note that's called the 7th. I'll show you where that is. And here. So it's 5th fret on the 4th string, and it's also at 8th fret on the 2nd string. That note's called the 7th. That doesn't matter why at the moment, but that's just what it is. Now we're going to replace that with a note called the 6th. So instead of an 8 on the 2nd string, I'm going to play a 7 on the 2nd string. And then on the 4th string, instead of a 5, I'm going to play a 4. So instead of this pattern, we get this. And you may also know that in the pentatonic minor, you can add this note, because that's the next note if you're going to continue up the octave. So that note fits as well. Okay, so I'm going to use that as well. But I'm replacing these two with these two. Now just to demonstrate the sound you get with this, I've got a loop pedal here. I'm just going to play a quick little 12-bar blues sequence into it. Right, so I'm just going to jam a little bit over the top of that, and what I will do is initially use the basic pentatonic minor scale with this extra note from the next octave. I'm just going to use the standard one first. So I'll go around twice through this chord sequence, and the first time I'm going to use the standard one. The second time, instead of the 7, I'm going to use the 6. I played similar licks, similar phrases, but I'm just going to change it to that. Okay, so it sounds a bit different. Now I accidentally played the 7th just once, I think, on that second sequence instead of a 6. And that reminded me as I was doing that it's very difficult to exclusively just use the 6 and don't play the 7 at all. It's a good exercise just to get used to it. And hopefully you can hear that the sound is a bit more melodic. So whereas you might normally do a phrase like this, that becomes this. Now it's a subtle difference, but I think that second one sounds more melodic. Let me try another one. So if instead of this, you get this. That 6 is a very kind of powerful note in music, especially in blues. And it really gives it this melodic sound. And Players that use this, that spring to mind or have used this, B.B. King, Robben Ford, Matt Schofield, and all the blues greats, you know, like Albert King, Freddie King, Otis Rush, they've all used this. But B.B. King is the one that stands out of all the classic kind of electric blues players that I can think of for doing this. And Clapton does it. I mean, you'll hear it. Everyone uses it. People like John Mayer probably use it as well. You hear it a lot, and it just gives you this more melodic sound. So I'm just going to play over my loop again, but this time I won't avoid the 7. I'll use the 6, but I'll still use the 7 a bit as well. Yeah, and that's how I like to use it. I like to use it with the 7 as well. But try it if you haven't already had a go at this. Just take the basic pattern that you already know. And get rid of that 7. Put the 6 in instead. Yeah, it's got a nice sound to it, and I think a lot of the classic blues players that you probably listen to, and I listen to, they do that, or did that. Give it a go. Any questions, please put them in the comments. One other thing to quickly point out is that obviously this is a movable thing, like most things on a guitar. If you can play this in the key of A, like I've just been doing, then you can just move it to another key easily. So if you're playing in the key of B, doing a blues in B, then you go. And another quick thing to point out as well is that this works particularly well on the 4 chord. So if you're in B, when it goes to the E or E7 or E9, the chord number, what's called chord 4, when you go to that chord, that's where this really works well. And it's much better to use the 6th from the B scale than the 7th. It just works really well. Actually, I'm just going to demonstrate that once more over my loop. So you listen to how good it sounds over the 4 chord, which in that key was D. So over this, I'll just use the normal scale. When it goes to this, I'm going to use that 6 instead. Yeah, I really like that. Give it a go. Okay, thanks for watching.